I kept thinking I was gonna die that night because all I can do was breathe.
Give me your hand. Give me your hand. Give me your hand. Hey everybody, John Van Dyke here for New Jersey Exposed. Today is Monday, September 27, 2021. Time is 3:13 p.m. Yes, Jersey time. You gotta be in Jersey if you want to be in Jersey time, and you have to have a Jersey mind, because it's all in the mind. All right, so we got another Blue Zero hero story of a hero out there risking our lives as he protects and serves the government. This one comes out of Louisiana. It's reported, I got this one off of Yahoo News, and it's dated September 24th. It reads as follows. Ex-Louisiana cop federally indicted for beating black man with flashlight. See, we can't even give them flashlights now. You know, we gave them tasers. What did they do with the tasers? They use that to torture you with it. We gave them a gun. They use that to shoot you in the back. We gave them nightsticks, so they use that to break your kneecaps and to violate your intestinal tract. Don't believe me? Google the story of New York City police a couple years back. And now we give them pepper spray. They use that to spray in your face and torture you some more after they got you in handcuffs. We give them a flashlight, and what do they do with a flashlight? They beat the crap out of you with it. I wonder if they broke the flash. See, I don't know how much you know about these flashlights. I'm assuming this is the one they have. I can remember back in my days of installing radios in the police cars, and one of the things I had to install was a little charger thing for their flashlight. Now their flashlight is like a foot and a half long with deep batteries in it, okay, and it's made of metal. And they always put it in a little charger unit, so they have a flashlight that works. Now that's back in the day before we had all these LED lights that don't require a lot of power and are a lot brighter, so the flashlights are smaller, but these other ones were long, and they were weapons. All right, here's the story right here. If I didn't put it up yet, there it is. All right, let's find out. Jacob Brown's body camera showed him hitting Aaron Bauman repeatedly as the man yelled, "I'm not resisting." It's funny how we always hear that "I'm not resisting" as the cop beats the living crap out of somebody. Maybe they should say, "Stop responding to my numerous assaults on your face." A former Louisiana state police trooper has been hit with federal charges after he allegedly beat a black man with a flashlight. Charges against 31-year-old Jacob Brown were announced by the U.S. Department of Justice Thursday in press release. I wonder if there's a study out there that determines what age group of cops is more likely to commit a violent act on somebody. You know, is it more prevalent with the younger ones? Is it more prevalent with the older ones? Something I'll have to keep an eye on. I want to say the bulk of the nonsense seems to happen with the late 20s and early 30 cops, because they still got a lot of testosterone, and by the time you start getting to your 40s, you're slowing down a little bit and you're getting closer to the end, closer to retirement. The indictment by a federal grand jury in Shreveport, Louisiana, charges Brown with a single count of deprivation of rights under color of law. The DOJ alleges that Brown assaulted Aaron Larry Bauman, 46, identified in the indictment as AB, on May 20th, 2019. Brown allegedly repeatedly struck the man in the head and body with a dangerous weapon, in this case a flashlight, modified with a metal tactical cap designed for breaking glass. And there's a picture. Think you can figure out which one's the victim? Well, I think we can. It's a black man. Got hurt. Yeah, take a good look at that hero right there. Oh yeah, he's a darling, isn't he? Another rising star. The indictment further alleges that the incident resulted in bodily injury to AB. The said conviction on the charge of deprivation of rights could result in a maximum sentence of 10 years in prison. Well, we know that won't happen for Brown. 3 years of supervised release and a fine up to $250,000. The DOJ maintains that further criminal investigations into the Louisiana State Police for incidents resulting in death or bodily injury to arrestees are ongoing. So this State Police has a little problem, or maybe it's a particular barrack that has the problem. On the May 2019 date, Brown was caught on his body-worn camera beating Bauman with the flashlight, as previously reported. Bauman can be heard screaming, I'm not resisting, as the officer pummels him. The incident left him with a broken jaw, 3 broken ribs, a broken wrist, and a gash to his head that required 6 staples to close. In a statement to CNN, Bauman's attorney, Ron Haley, wrote, "We are pleased that the 2-year battle to hold Louisiana State Police accountable for what happened to Aaron has taken a step in the right direction. 2 years for such an obvious display of abuse should not have taken this long," he told the network, "but justice is never too late." The attack on Bauman was probed by state authorities until 536 days after the encounter. Despite it being captured on Brown's body camera, and they launched the investigation weeks after Bauman filed a civil suit. According to reports, police records show Bauman had amassed 23 use of force incidents during 2015, 19 of them targeting blacks before he resigned in March. Brown also faces state charges, including aggravated second-degree battery and malfeasance in office. So this cop has a problem. Now, I look at the use of force report that I have for New Jersey, and most of these cops have 4, 5, maybe 7, maybe 8, depending on where they're at. If they're in Newark or Camden, Trenton, Atlantic City, places where it's more heavily populated, a little more crime-ridden, or maybe it's a town that has a lot of bars in it, that you will see the use of force level numbers go up a little bit. But the question is, what is the use of force? Putting a compliance hold on somebody, you got a drunk that you had to hit him up with the pepper spray or something. So you really have to look at what the use of forces were used, what the type of techniques were used, and what the situations are. But it all seems to be average. Most departments that I saw, the numbers are average amongst the different departments. But then you get the ones that have the high numbers. In this case, 19 incidents. All right, what were the incidents? What was he doing? Now you take this clown we had out of Millville, New Jersey, Joe Dixon, the poster boy here in New Jersey for bad cops, who've held the record in the state. He had like 51 uses of force, and finally him picking a 100-pound 50-year-old woman and slamming her ground and breaking her ribs. It took him to do that to that woman before it stopped, before it all ended, because he finally got charged and sentenced and fired. But this is what happens. It takes something like this Bauman guy, get his jaw broken and ribs broken and wrist broken and staples in his skull from getting beat over the head with a flashlight, to put an end to it. And that's the problem. And there's got to be, you got to have set up some kind of thing that when you get to a certain level of use of force reports, that the state has to step in and take a look at it and see what is going on, to nip it at the bud, because this is the problem. These problems never get stopped, even when the writing is on the wall. And Joe Dixon, who I did numerous stories on that and spoke personally to the victim of this Joe Dixon, that this could have been prevented. And people would not get hurt, and the taxpayers wouldn't have to be paying out thousands and thousands of dollars and millions of dollars in lawsuit settlements because of these bad cops that have a little thing they like to hurt people. They're sociopaths. They don't feel the pain of other people, so they go out and they hurt people. They get their nut off on this, of hurting people. And we all know those kind of people in school. I mean, guys know it. There's always that one guy in school that he just likes hurting people, likes fighting all the time. We all know that guy. It doesn't even have to be in school. We all know that person growing up when we were younger, who was always getting in fights, likes mixing it up with guys. We know those types.
Check the mic and make sure
they end up on the police force. This is the end result. Somebody gets hurt, an officer finally gets charged. Whether he goes to prison or not, that remains to be seen. Put the link in the description. I'm John Van Dyke for New Jersey Exposed. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Till next time, people.
Archer, Winsboro. Hold on, hang tight. I haven't done nothing. Give us your hand. Give me your fucking hand. Give me your fucking hand. Give me your hand. Give me. I'm not resisting. I'm not resisting. Give me your hand. Give me your fucking hand. I ain't messing with you. Give me your fucking hand. Give me your hand. Okay.
I'm bleeding. They hit me in the hand with a flashlight. I haven't done nothing, man. I'm on dialysis, man. You hurt me. You hurt me. I don't have them. I kept thinking I was gonna die that night because all I can do was breathe. It was scary.
Anytime that an officer utilizes an object to strike an individual in the head, they must have reason to use deadly force. Striking somebody in the head with a flashlight can cause serious, if not permanent, injury and or death to the individual.
You know, but when I seen that tape, it was like reliving it all over again. You know, I ain't gonna lie, I couldn't help myself. I was watching it, I broke down all over again. You know, it's just, you know, I wouldn't want nobody to go through that.